Welcome back, everybody. This is Day by Day with Evan. And before we get into it, I'm just going to remind you to hit that bell so that you don't miss anything that I post in the future. You subscribe, comment what you think below after the video, and give it a little thumbs up so it can be shared to so many other people that I think people will benefit from today's segment. And today we are focusing on how important it is to let go of that old version of yourself, the version that is still holding on to habits and things that don't serve you anymore, in order to nurture and really just tap into that future self, that higher mind. I mean, this goes back to when I was down and out. Okay, it's gonna get heavy and deep and dark really quick. Well, I mean, what parts of you are deep and dark and still a part of you, but just not something that you like to talk about every day, that you learned from the most? I think when people are going through, or at least myself, when I'm going through something that really was just something that I don't wish to go back, like losing a friend to suicide or ODs, or to a motorcycle accident, or almost losing myself to ODs, suicide, or a car crash. Um, these parts of you are supposed to be a part of you so that you can reflect back on them and move forward with life. And that was kind of like the point of my previous episode with, looking back so you could move forward. But this is kind of this point that I'm making right now is about holding that part of you so that you can look forward always. Because when you hold that part of you close to yourself and you reflect on it often, like sometimes I'll be talking to somebody and I'll like, something will come up in the conversation where I'm like, man, I almost lost my life. Like I shouldn't be here. And the gravity of that meaning of like me saying I shouldn't be here only comes from understanding that it wasn't that God told whatever angel to save me from that car crash. It was also me being like, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't do drugs. Maybe I shouldn't do drugs and drive. Maybe I shouldn't. All right, this is 21-year-old me. All right, like this is when you're a kid, and I'm still a kid. We often think that 30 years old, you're supposed to have it all figured out, a business, a family, a house. And while that's okay to have it figured out and to be at that point in your life, it's also okay to not be there at that point in your life. Everyone's journey is different. And when you learn to accept that, you start to learn to accept the things that have happened in your life. I've had people leave me hanging dry. I've had people hold me at gunpoint for things that I don't even think about now. That was 10 years ago, and I'm sitting there, a child, gun to my hip, telling me, like, give them whatever. I'm not going to say what it was, but these moments show you that those little moments, those little things that matter so much in that moment and could be life altering later down the line, could mean nothing as well. Or not nothing, but they just aren't there in your life, like making a daily difference. Whereas like when I'm 60, I hope to God, I pray to God that I don't have knee surgery because my whole family has had knee surgery. But I pray to God that that's something that doesn't live with me, because I want to be able to run and walk normally, walk my daughter, if I have one, down the aisle. Those things those things mean something to me in the future. And so I'm taking action today to learn from my family's mistakes, with not eating the right food, not exercising correctly, and not taking their joints into consideration when they're doing these exercises, um, so that I can possibly reach that future of walking my daughter down the aisle, um, or being able to run at 60 or 65. So yeah, when you accept, I think the most powerful thing that I said right there is that when you accept the journey that you're on, you learn to accept the past and what was there, so that right here, right now, you can reflect on it and be like, oh, okay, that is a part of me. I'm going to pull that part of me closer instead of leaving it behind. I said to somebody literally last night at work, and she's an Aries, and she's just like, you could just tell her fire is so bright, but she, as an Aries, like, pulls off pieces of her armor to protect the ones that she loves. While that is okay, she is literally dimming her light and making herself vulnerable for people that dropped those pieces of armor, like, you know, whatever, 2, 3 months ago, years ago, whatever it is. You got to pick those pieces up off the ground that were a part of you and bring them so close to your heart, so that you can recognize that, yes, I made that choice. That was me. But it's not going to affect the next day. It's not going to affect the next year, because I'm not going to let it. I'm going to pull that part of me as close as possible so that I can accept it, and so that I can build off of that choice to not make that choice again, or to make it again with structure and perseverance and from the higher mind. So when you do make that choice again, it's not going to end up the same way. It'll end up differently, and maybe that might not be the right way, because there is no wrong or right way, but it might not be the way that's meant for you, and then you'll learn again. I made a video on TikTok the other day, and here's my answer to content creation. Like, if you have an idea, put it out. Put it on a video, put it on a piece of paper, get it out there. I was sitting there in my car, like, wondering what I was going to make, and I sat there and looked at the camera. I'm like, okay, well, what are you going through? You're going through something that God is, like, just kind of putting you through, and you kind of wish that you weren't, but you know that it's good for you. So I took that premise, put it in a video, and said, God, fuck me up. Put me through the trials and tribulations that will make me grow. Because if I'm not growing, I'm comfortable. And if I'm comfortable, I'm not growing. Take away my job that I love so much. Take away the woman of my dreams. Like, give her to me and then take her away. Take away my love for the little things in life. Give me silence. Give me patience. Give me opportunities to grow. Don't take my life, please, God. But also take everything so that I can learn. I want to push myself past the boundaries of my resilience, past the boundaries of my weakness, so that I can gain strength in those places in my soul, because we're all here for one reason. Okay? It's not to prolong our generation, it's not to prolong the life on this earth. It is for one reason. And I truly believe that we are here so that we can figure out the depths of our souls. There's 8 billion people on this planet. Not everyone's gonna agree with me, but I think that the things that tell us, oh man, like the parts of our hearts that's telling us like, oh man, like I wish I could do something different to get to that end goal, or um I wish this was easier, are the things that we direly need to do. Those things are going to help us grow the most. If we're sitting here continuously hitting the wall and then right at the end we give up, we're never going to break through. And those walls are the ones that are going to build us up the most. So when you can accept what that choice did, like the consequences and everything that came along with it, those tools are the guiding force in choices that you already went through, but those tools are there to help you next time. And like I said, when I need to learn or when I need to be stronger and have more resilience, I ask God to take things from me that are making me comfortable. Maybe not directly. Maybe I'm not like seeing God. I'm like, hey, I have this one thing that it's very comfortable for me. And so can you take it from me? Maybe not directly like that, but somewhere in along the lines of when I'm going throughout my day and I'm thinking about it, and you know, I'm thinking of those things and they're like obviously bringing me a lot of comfort and I have regret about it and guilt. I think God hears those guilty feelings. He feels them, and the universe will make something happen to where you're not dealing with those things that are making you comfortable anymore. And it opens up opportunity to make a choice. Are you going to be stronger? Are you going to overcome losing that thing that made you so comfortable? Or are you going to become weaker and seek that thing even deeper into the realm of comfortability? Now, I think the premise of this whole topic is becoming stronger and what that does and what being weaker does. It prolongs your journey towards that highest mind, that what did dang someone called it, Smoke called it on a podcast, your highest self, the the version of you that is emitting the most vibrant and abundant and grateful frequencies. That version of you is going to be the most rewarded, and being strong enough to get there comes from choosing to overcome those spaces that give you the option of whether or not to be stronger or weaker. And when you choose to seek more comfort in your weaknesses, you delay that journey towards that higher self. You delay the the goal of just being a better you. So like I said in the beginning, like this topic was this it's a long-winded way of saying, like, seek strength and overcome weakness. But it's truly along the lines of like accepting that older version of you and nurturing and tapping into that future self, that highest self that's operating at the highest frequencies. Um so yeah, you know, listen to listen to Michael Smoke, listen to Ed Milet, listen to We Study Billionaires, listen to It's Not That Deep. There's so many people in the podcast space that you can look it up on TikTok, you can look it up on Instagram, like little videos that will just fire you up in moments of doubt and being unclear. Those are my cheat codes. I think a lot of people can relate, but if you can't, then maybe try it out. Who knows? Before you leave this video, maybe comment what you think. Give me a heads up of like what I'm doing wrong or right, what I said was wrong or right to you, because I'd love to talk to you about it. Like, subscribe, hit the bell so that you don't miss the next episode. And this was Day by Day, 1% Better. Good luck, guys.